What's going on, guys? For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Sam right here back in the flesh. Absolutely beautiful seeing you wonderful people one more time. And in today's video, we're gonna have a bit more of a vlog style video. Need to give you guys a bunch of updates, including an update on not only this car, which I gotta give you guys the backstory on my Camaro SS, but I also need to give you guys an update on this beautiful gold car sitting right here behind me, as well as the engine that we're putting into it and this motorcycle, because I actually need you guys help on figuring out how I can get the right microphone quality in order for me to do my moto vlogs. That's the only reason I haven't brought a whole lot of moto content to the channel in terms of vlogs, because I don't really know how to do my microphone setup and for it to actually be sound worthy for you guys to be able to hear it. So a lot of things to go over in today's video. Make sure that you guys stay tuned. Not gonna be a long video, but you guys don't want to miss out on the updates and what I need to tell you guys. Some big news coming. But just like that, guys, let's get into it. Okay, guys, so a little bit of an update on the motor. So many of you may have seen the video in which I started putting together my one-of-one custom stroker built VQ35DE. Now, that video was supposed to be like a 3-day project, but we did run into some issues. So this right here is the engine. And as you guys can see, I do have the crankshaft in with all the bearings. I do have the head studs in as well. And these are in basically just right now, just because I want to just have that look. I'll probably end up taking them out whenever I actually go in to try to put in the pistons. However, I do have my oil squirters in. As you guys can see, that little thing that's sticking out right there, kind of protruding. Those are the oil squirters that are in each cylinder. And that is the issue that we're having with this motor. So just to give you guys a little bit of an update, I had to send the CP pistons back to CP. For whatever reason, the kit that they made, the cutout on the piston to be able to clear the oil squirter was on the exhaust side of the piston. And as you guys can see, the oil squirters are that little stem right there, and right there. Those are the stems on this side. And on this side of the engine, they are right there, and right there. Now, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, I was expecting the pistons to already, I guess, be able to be made to put into this engine block. And so whenever you're doing a stroker kit, of course, this piston is going to go up and down in the cylinder a little bit more as far as travel goes through the actual cylinder. So the bottom of the piston, and if I have the pictures still, I'll throw them up here. The bottom of the piston was hitting the oil squirter at the bottom of the stroke. It didn't matter what I did. Literally, the only thing that could possibly have happened was for them to be able to basically machine that cutout on the piston. I tried filing down the side of the oil squirter, in other words, the little round piece that actually sits on the block. You can't really do much with the stem of the squirter itself, of course, because that's not that thick, and that is there to shoot your oil up under the piston, help cool everything, help lubricate everything. However, I tried filing down the edge of the oil squirter. It still was hitting the stem, and so I called Brian Crower, who I ordered the kit from, and I told them the issue that I was having, and they said they contacted CP. CP said that they would take the pistons back and machine them. For whatever reason, I don't understand why they wouldn't have already been machined, being that the kit has to be made for this engine build. Literally the only place that the squirters can go is on the intake side, which the intake, this is the intake, this middle part, the intake side of the block. So I don't know why the cutouts for the oil squirters were on their exhaust side, because there is no, as you guys can see on the exhaust side of the block, there's nothing there for that's in need of a cutout. So that's the update. I promise you guys, we will be finishing this build. I think CP, I think they've had the pistons for right around a week now. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to go ahead, get them back to me, because my car has been down it's coming up on a year. I have to get it inspected in November in order for me to not have to pay, you know, like the extra money in order to get the tag renewed and all that stuff. So I have to get it inspected. In order for me to get it inspected, it has to be running. So I'm trying to go ahead and get it together, but it's just a whole lot of obstacles basically preventing me from doing what I want to do and what I need to do right now. But promise you guys, I'm not snaking you on the build. It is coming. That's the update on that. Hopefully I'll have the pistons sometime this week and you guys will see another build upload. As far as the car itself, you guys remember we did do the NACA ducts. I love it. I think it looks absolutely sick. Now, you guys can't tell, the car is on some K-Sport coilovers. If you guys would like to, a little bit of a review on the coilovers, absolutely love them. I'll give you guys a review on those. A lot of people prefer BC over K-Sport or Megan Racing. I wanted to go a little bit on the in-between side because of price reasons. I feel like the K-Sport really offers just as good of performance as the BC, but I'll definitely give you guys an update. Shout out to my boy Street Speed 717 with the student driver action. As far as the car itself, we do have a few things we have to do in terms of aesthetics. So definitely going to have to repaint this front grille. When it's all black, it looks absolutely sinister. Not really vibing with the little chip look, not at all. I had a front lip that was on the car. That's why I have these cutouts right here, because I actually had some little struts that came from up underneath here and mounted to the front lip. But I ended up hydroplaning like on my way to Greenville one time, and the front lip actually got ripped off. I was able to save it. I was sort of like drifting, which you guys, if you've ever driven a front wheel drive car, drifting it, even when you're hydroplaning, is insanely difficult. But I was able to save it. Did end up going in the grass a little bit, and so I lost my front lip. However, nonetheless, we are going to get a new one up there because the car, since it is lowered, it looks absolutely sick with their front lip. The only issue that I do have is ground clearance, but I might raise it maybe an inch just to see how I like it. As far as exhaust, so one thing that you guys don't know is that I have been doing this custom exhaust. I basically taught myself how to weld within, I'd say probably about 2 days, 3 days. I taught myself how to weld. Now, it's not gonna be the same level of quality as your guys that have been welding for 10 years, even 1 year. But the weld is good enough, shouldn't have any leaks. And basically I have my exhaust routed. It's hard to see because I do have the bumper up there because I'm mocking it up. I feel like this is gonna look really, really sick. Reminds me almost of the McLarens, like the 720s, the Lambo SVJs, Huracans, that have the exhaust coming up sort of like mid-mounted instead of coming out near the bottom. That's exactly what I wanted to do with my build. So I have my exhaust coming up. It then wraps over this frame, this cross member that we have. I think it's like a crash bar. It wraps over that. I do have some mufflers on the welded to the exhaust pipes, but they are behind the bumper. So I'm a little bit nervous as far as the sound, because I'm not sure how loud it's going to be. And a lot of people aren't going to believe that it does have mufflers because they are behind the bumper. But you guys let me know. I know it's hard to see right now because of the bumper not being on and of course the car not being on the ground. However, I think it's going to look absolutely sick with this Acropovich forged carbon exhaust tips. Absolutely sick. It's going to look incredible. You guys just have to wait and find out. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'll take the bumper off at a later date, basically show you guys the setup, how I welded everything together, how it looks underneath the bumper, just so you guys can see. I couldn't really bring you along the process because I was doing car reviews, didn't have a whole lot of storage. So that's the deal with the exhaust. I think it looks sick. Hope you guys enjoyed as well. One thing that I have been doing that I also didn't necessarily show you guys is that although this car is an automatic, I was able to source a manual transmission for it. And so I went on ahead and installed the clutch pedal. Now with these Nissan Maximas, something like only 2 to 3% of them were made with a manual transmission, and so absolutely lovely. Now the clutch pedal, of course, is non-functional because it doesn't have any fluid. However, nonetheless, I did go ahead and install it. I feel like it does look pretty sick. My dad, he's sort of like one way or the other. The way he feels about it is, why do you need a clutch pedal in a manual car? The way I'm looking at it is, in the future, if I decide to go ahead and put that manual transmission in this car, then I'll already have the clutch pedal for it. And I have everything else for the manual swap besides the shift linkage, since it is a front wheel drive car, and the flywheel. Everything else I have, and I think it's actually over here with the engine and everything. So the one thing that isn't over here is the actual shifter that's in the house, because I do like shifting it even though it's not connected to anything. So here is the original, actually I say original, but it came off a junkyard car, brake pedal right here. This right here I did not need to use. I do want to maintain my wide brake pedal that you guys saw. Don't really want to go with this skinny one. So hopefully I'll have enough foot space, but we will see. I did grab the ECU out of the manual car just in case I need it for tuning reasons. You guys can see I do have the clutch as well as the pressure plate and the throwout bearing right here. I also have, I think the motor mount, and I think the motor mount is actually, the motor mount is still connected to the actual lines for the clutch. So that's where the motor mount is. It's actually under the hood because I haven't went ahead and mounted it up yet, as far as I just installed the clutch pedal and then went on ahead and left it alone. As far as the manual transmission, this is it right here. Really, really hard to find these, especially in the junkyard. Like I said, only like 3% of the Maximas came with a manual transmission. You can see we do have our throwout lever right there. I believe I also might need to buy a slave cylinder, or no, the slave cylinder is right here. I'll probably get a new one just to try to have everything fresh. However, we do have all the things for the swap if we decide to swap it. Like I said, aside from the shift linkage and the flywheel. So you guys let me know if you think that would be cool. A 06 with this 4.1 stroker kit and a manual transmission. I think it's gonna be absolutely sick. And when I pull up next to somebody's Scat Pack, they don't expect all the power that this thing is gonna be putting down. I'm expecting over 400 because I did go with a high compression build, and the heads are ported, and they do have Tomei oversized valves in them. So it's gonna be pretty sick. As far as the bike, if you guys would please, down in the comments, let me know some type of setup I can go with for motovlogging. I don't really know if I want to spend $300-400 on a GoPro 360 yet. I'm thinking about just going ahead and doing it. I do have a few of these loans I need to take care of a little bit more though first, but let me know your thoughts on if how would I do the setup as far as being able to motovlog in terms of you guys actually being able to hear me. I've tried just connecting to my Bluetooth that's in my Ruroc helmet. That doesn't work. I did try having an external Bluetooth helmet which connects to my phone, and I put the other microphone like in my helmet next to my mouth. That still was too loud, had too much exposure. I did see where one guy said he just cut up a set of almost like Apple earbuds and just let the microphone, plug the microphone into his phone and put the actual microphone piece in his helmet, and it sounded just fine. I tried that, didn't really work. So you guys let me know down in the comments any type of ideas you might have as far as motovlogging, because I would really love to bring some of this content to you guys, especially when we go to Cars and Coffee, when we take these road trips, these long, even just ride-alongs, just to sort of just chill out, have a little bit more of peace, relaxed time. I think that would benefit a lot of you guys, especially in this world full of a whole lot of mental health issues. Even if you guys can just ride along with me as far as just through the phone. I feel like that would be absolutely awesome. And then last but not least, the Camaro SS. So you guys, I don't have my key with me, and I think it's locked. Yeah, it is locked. So I do have a manual Camaro SS. The only reason this has not been on the channel is because the LS3 blew up less than, I'm trying to go ahead and open it up for you guys. LS3 blew up less than a month of me having it. I told the dealership I was having some issues with a low oil pressure light. They decided they would take it in and quote unquote fix it. Next thing I know, I got the car back. 2 days later, motors blew up. So I'm doing this whole legal battle right now. I promise you guys, this car will be up and running here soon, either with another LS3, possibly with a cam, or should we LS7 swap it. You guys know the LS3 and the LS7, basically the same motor, especially when you can get a wet sump LS7 instead of the dry sump that was originally in the Camaro Z28, which I did a review on, and the Corvette Z06, which I also did a review on. Go check those out. But if you can get a wet sump LS7, absolutely insane, and it's basically the same specs as the LS3. So is that something we should think about doing? Swapping it, getting a tune on it, making it one of a kind, just like that car over there. People wouldn't even, they would just think it's just a regular SS until you get on it. So just like that, guys, that is basically all for the updates. Like I said, sorry I haven't been able to get a whole lot of vlog content just because it seems like everything as far as the build, and of course like my motovlogging and being able to go ahead get that car up and going, it seems like it's just taking a long time. But promise you guys, it is coming. Don't fret on me yet. But just like that, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you like the content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.